this video right here down. All right, shout out to Papa Duck. If y'all don't check his channel out, y'all should. I've been following this dude for a minute. I really enjoy his content.
What's happening? It's your boy Papa Duck, man. Listen, man. Y'all saw they had Jamie Foxx apologize to the Jews, right? For whatever he said or whatever, right? That's why I say, man, let me break this shit down. First of all, we got to stop letting.
So now let me ask you a question real quick. Does an apology imply that you did something wrong? Does an apology imply submission? That's my question for you guys. Let me know what you guys think. All right.
That shit that happened. We shouldn't apologize to no fucking body, right? And I got so many reasons why, and it's gonna make plenty of sense. Make sure y'all share this video. First of all, that is a form of buck breaking. That is humiliation to the whole.
I agree so far. Honestly, spoiler alert, I agree with the entire video, but I agree with everything that he said so far. The way that they try to implement these apologies, it's absolutely a form of buck breaking. All right, but pay closer attention to what he says later on.
Whole black culture. This is when they take the biggest blackest slave, put him in front of everybody, and beat his ass. Right? Let the world see the shamefulness. Right? Let the world see that we bow down gracefully to them, even though we didn't individually do it. It sends a message that they're more superior than over us.
Now, here goes my question, right? When it comes to these celebrities, this is why I said hashtag say sorry, be sorry, right? Hashtag say sorry, be sorry. We need to put out the message to these celebrities. Yeah, hey, yo, chump, listen here. Y'all keep saying sorry, y'all gonna be sorry. We're gonna make y'all go broke. We're gonna drive your riches into the ground. Being a celebrity is a privilege that they enjoy because we gave them notoriety. We'll smother it. We'll pull that money, that rug right from up under their feet, have them fall right down on the back of their head. Blackout, it's over. Because if you ask me, like if you listen to the video that me and TD Hip Hop Media did about this, if you ask me, those celebrities who move like this, they're chosen for that very reason, because they know that these people are weak. Remember, when you become a celebrity, in many cases, in most cases, it's not us that makes you a celebrity. You're getting your paycheck from somewhere else, which is why those people feel and have no loyalty to us. They have no loyalty to us because it's not us providing them the majority of their money. So they don't care what we think. They only care what we think when their paymasters pay them to try to influence what we think. Okay? There needs to be a lot of different revolutions, right? And one of the first revolutions that there needs to be is the destruction of the celebrity structure. The destruction of the celebrity structure. Celebrities need to be destroyed. Their temples burned down and their idols desecrated. All celebrities need to be defiled. Because these people were chosen with ulterior motives. A form of hypnosis. And Papa Duck is doing a real great job of breaking this scenario down.
Second of all, they're not the real Jews. We are. Let's get that straight. Folks stole the whole culture. Third of all, why the fuck should we apologize? Because they're not going to apologize to us for signing our children over to record companies so that they can exploit us, so that they can push the narrative that niggas kill niggas.
Now, and I agree. How many people remember when the hip hop mogul was on the Breakfast Club and Charlemagne the God asked him the question, and he said, hey, my family got to eat. And if we quench our thirst with the blood of your children, hey, it is what it is, B. Shout out to my man Carlton Way. And real quick, ladies and gentlemen, if you guys have not smashed that like button, please make sure you guys take a moment, smash that like button. Also, if you guys have not hit the bell and subscribe to the channel, make sure that you guys hit the bell and subscribe to the channel. And please take a moment, share this video out to your social media.
This is all they rap about. If you rapping about killing and then you doing this and then what it resulting to, I did a video the other day and I showed you it done got so bad that these jitterbugs are breaking into the funeral homes, stealing bodies in the caskets of their ops. Where did this come from? Them. You think they're gonna apologize? You saw what Leo Cohen said on the Breakfast Club. Shouts out to Charlamagne for setting his ass up. What he said? Hey, drugs are bad. Fentanyl is bad. He replied, yes, it is bad. And it shouldn't be out there and blah, 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 blah. Then you know what he said? Well, why do you sign artists that talk about using fentanyl, selling fentanyl, and whoop-de-whoop-de-whoop? You know what he said? That bitch say,
hey, shout out to Papa Duck. You could tell he literally came straight from the barber's chair and sat down and made this video. Do y'all agree? He came straight from the barber's chair and said, I'm finna make this video real quick.
I got a family to feed. Black people, we need to start waking up because it's getting to the point where we got to hold ourselves accountable for the bullshit that happens. Thirdly, I'm gonna say this too. Jamie Foxx, along with other people that do this shit, have no choice to a certain degree. Simply because...
Now, I disagree right there. There's always a choice. Yeah, I've been watching Papa Duck for a minute. Yeah, that lineup crazy, ain't it, KO Kid Fit? Shout out to my man KO Kid Fit. That lineup crazy. Shout out to Papa Duck's lineup. You know what I'm saying? Whoever that boy Barber is. Hey, I bet you he got somebody from the Legion of Doom to give him a laser lineup. That lineup looked like it was done with surgical instruments. The Lord have mercy. Shout out to Red Raven Rucker. What's good with it, bro? Let me ask you guys a question. Do these people have a choice? And if they do have a choice, what are their choices? Because they do indeed have a choice, right? And the thing is that they make this choice. They make this choice. Nobody makes them make this choice. They make this choice on their own. They make this choice on their own, just like we make the choice to support many of these people. And I gotta agree. I gotta agree with Hurricane IQ. Hurricane IQ says they choose to do that. There's plenty of ways for his family to eat. Facts. And there's plenty of people that they could take money from. Again, all the money and financial resources that these celebrities have, they should be setting up value chains the same way that Ukrainian oil miner set up value chains for the Ukrainians. If you're in a position where you have a lot of money and you have people that are a part of you who have a financial situation or who are facing disparities, and you can set up a value chain to help them improve that situation, you would think that that would be something that people would want to do because there's returns in that, right? There's returns. Now, check it out. Shout out to my man, Crew Royalty. Crew Royalty says, always a choice. Question is, what are the options? Here's the options. Sell your soul or keep your soul. That's the options. You know what I'm saying? So we know what most of these people chose. Which option did they choose? In most cases, they chose option A. Selling their soul is more important than maintaining their integrity. Now, if they don't even care about themselves enough to maintain ownership, control, and the image of their own soul, then here's my question. What should our expectations for them with us be? What should our expectations of them be? That's the question. If you guys agree with John, give me a thumbs up. If you guys disagree with John, give me a thumbs down. There is always a choice. There's always a choice. There's always a choice.
We don't support those that stand up against these motherfuckers, nor do we have anything to fall back on when we do put it all out there. Now, let me put that in perspective. If we as black folks supported each other, if we as black folks understood that we need a foundation for us, right? So when one of these celebrities go through some shit like this, they got something to fall back on and say, no, man, fuck that. I ain't got to apologize. Why? Because my whole community back me up. My people back me up, but we don't do that. So you got to be wary of these people putting all their money and everything they built and worked for on the line and we don't back them up. You got to be real with yourself. You got some people won't risk $1,000, let alone 100 million.
Now, here's my question, and this is what I was talking about with Ice Cube the other day, right? This is what I was talking about with Ice Cube the other day. We back our celebrities up, and we get let down all the time. The celebrities don't even deserve our backing. These celebrities deserve to get crushed by us, not by the people that are crushing them. But instead, we still have their backs. Now, let me ask you guys a question. All the times that we've had celebrities' backs, what do the payoffs for that look like? Shout out to TD. Shout out to TD Hip Hop, Papa Duck. This man is a genius. You know what I'm saying? Hey, if y'all agree with me that this man, Papa Duck, is a genius, give me a thumbs up. If y'all disagree, give me a thumbs down. Papa Duck is a genius. You know what I'm saying?
So when they do this shit, sometimes I feel as though, hey, man, they doing what they got to do because they don't have shit to fall back on. That's our fault as a people. We saw Kanye West get in the ring with these people.
They don't have nothing to fall back on. All right. Now, in Papa Duck terms, he talking about value chains. Yo, I apologize, Papa Duck, for that picture. You know what I'm saying? I apologize for that pause, homie. You know what I'm saying? Nothing I can do about it, though. But what he's talking about is a value chain. Nothing to fall back on. Value chains overlapping should create a safety net that'll catch any one of us if one of us happens to fall. You know what I'm saying? They need to be putting money in our pocket. We need to be putting money in theirs. And that bilateral process will insulate economic consequences, or at least minimize economic consequences from people outside of our economic ecosystem. Would you guys agree? That is something that we need to start building up. Also, if we did that, we'd be able to fund our own celebrities that perpetuate the messages that we want them to perpetuate. These celebrities are used as vehicles, human media, to manipulate our culture. Let me ask the men a question. How does it make you feel every time you see one of these chumps get down on their knees and start begging and apologizing? How does it make you feel? You know how it makes me feel? It makes me feel like, well, since this happened, I need to go off and go out and make somebody else beg me for an apology. You need to beg me to loosen the grip from around your windpipe. Because I'll be damned. But these people won't be. These people won't be damned. As long as they can get another dollar, as long as they can get some more change, as long as they can get another movie deal, they'll do anything. These celebrities are pathetic, less than humans. These people, male and female, are human prostitutes. And they getting pimped by strange pimps. Exploited. They even exploit their own families just for a paycheck. These people are pathetic. And yet, these people are weaponized. And people want us to be so weak that we see these weak, cultural, poor examples of human beings. and get the bright idea to quote unquote follow their lead. I don't know to where, but that's the desired effect. And for a long time, you know, one could say that it's been working. Let me ask you guys a question. If this is the constant image of a man that society sees, is this a kind of man that women are going to want to build a family with? Every time somebody gets buck on you, you're just going to fold? That doesn't project the image of a protector very well. You think that's on purpose? That's part of the extermination agenda. That's part of the extermination agenda. What do these nations do when they go to war? They turn out the women and kill the men. Every time one of these dudes apologizes, they killed the men. Every time you get a Sukihana or a Cardi B, they turned out the women. Those are acts of war. To all the people that read the Bible, you can read stories like that in the Bible where they talked about that happening. All these years, these very same people are the same people that attached themselves to the civil rights movement. So in one hand, you marching with Martin Luther King, and then in the next, you're telling drill rappers to go destroy Chicago? Shout out to my man Jay Bird. What's good with it, bro? Shout out to Tel Toya. What's good with it? That's my question. When are people going to get tired of this nonsense? I've been tired of it for a long time.
We saw Kanye West get in the ring with these people and fought by himself. LeBron James ain't jump in. Eddie Murphy ain't jump in. Jordan ain't jump in. Ain't nobody jumped in the ring with Kanye West when he went against these folks and he risked it all, put it all on the line. That nigga.
Now imagine if LeBron James and all them other people jumped into the fight with Kanye West the same way them people jumped into the fight at the riverboat. But you have a 6'7", I think LeBron James is 6'7", massive NBA player that is scared of his own shadow. He's scared. How pathetic is that? Let me ask you guys a question. Does the voice that these people are pathetic need to be louder so that they hear it? And I'm going to tell you something. If those people are scared of a little 5'11" businessman with glasses, man, they should be terrified of us. But they're not. And the reason why they're not is because their paymasters have given them the bright idea that they're somehow more advanced, somehow more evolved, somehow more intelligent, special, better than us. I think it's time to prove them otherwise.
They got some big balls. Simply because no one else has done it. Not to that magnitude. So we need to start understanding. We need to stop spending our money with these people. We need to start building our own shit. We need our own schools. We need our own factories. We need our own everything. Because the reality of the shit is We keep spending our money with these people.
So now here goes my thing, right? And again, shout out to Papa Duck for making this video. And we say this stuff all the time. We've known this stuff for some time now. Here's my question. Are the leaders the people who talk, or are the leaders the people who are actually building these things, putting them into place? Now, here's my question. Everything that Papa Duck just listed, I want you guys to name me 5 people that are in the process of putting a value chain together. I want you guys to name me 5 people. That's one person for each finger on one of your hands. We've known this for a long time, right? So that means that we should either be near completing this, right? Or in the process of it. So who's doing it? And real quick, ladies and gentlemen, shout out to my man AB Promotion, and shout out to my man Jarrett. But shout out to AB Promotion for the $4.99 super chat. Make sure that you guys throw some radiation emoji in the chat and show him some love. AB Promotion says, are they going to make the Christian church apologize? I'm gonna let you guys take care of that question in the comment section. They're gonna make the Christian church apologize. They're gonna make the Bible apologize.
We're putting them more in power over us, and we too goddamn crazy to see the shit. So therefore, we talk shit about each other. We slander each other, and not realize that we really need each other. But that's by design. So to some degree, I can't fault us. Why? Because the very people that's running this shit, putting us on TV, exploiting us on TV, putting it out to the world that black folk can't be trusted. Black folk don't trust each other. Black folk don't do business.
Now, here's the question that I want you guys to take a moment to think about, and I want to hear everybody's answer to this question. I want you guys to name from beginning to end the black exploitation value chain. I want you guys to name all of the parts and pieces of the black exploitation value chain. That's going to be a long one, and it's going to have many different branches. And once the black exploitation value chain has been mapped out, I want you guys to give me a rough estimate of the net revenue that each branch makes. And then once we do that, we're going to see how much of a percentage of the GDP that makes. The black exploitation value chain. I'll give you guys some hints. There's sports. There's hip hop. There's the prison industrial complex. Politics. Coons. Africa. Tourism in the Caribbean. I want you guys to make a map, a flow chart with arrows that shows inputs of black people going in and profits coming out and all the places where they're distributed to. And I guarantee you that none of those arrows are going to go back to black people. You guys know how to make a flow chart. Everybody's had to make a flow chart for work or for school at some point, right? I want you guys to make a black exploitation flow chart from T-1 to today. And I want you guys to show me what it looks like. Visualize it. What does it look like? Can you name the points of exploitation? Yeah, I agree, Al. This will take a whole stream. This is something that we should do. We should discuss this further in the Discord. But if you ask me, it's an important piece of material evidence. So that it's worth the time.
This is what he told me. Black folks are stupid. Black folks are the only ones that spend money with other cultures that don't spend their money back. And this is why we think this is okay. Every time.
Is that true? that we're the only ones that spend money with cultures that don't spend their money back? Now, here's my thing, right? Dr. Claude Anderson said that we're guilty of boycotting our own business. So if we're guilty of boycotting our own business, that would probably be that's probably true. Question. Economics and finance are indicative and reflective of human behavior. So if we want to change our spending habits, then we have to change our behavioral habits. We have to change our thinking habits. So what is it that goes through people's heads that makes them think that they shouldn't do business and commerce with each other? If you attack and conquer the mind, you eliminate the problem. So what goes on in people's minds that repels them from doing business with each other? That's my question for you guys. Economics. A study of human financial behavior. The racial wealth gap not only can tell you about trauma, it can tell you about our behavior. Because the racial wealth gap is a what? It's an economic indicator. Poverty not only can tell you about our trauma, it can tell you about our behavior. But in many cases, behavior is a result of trauma. Would you guys agree? Things like PTSD and dissociative syndrome, according to the DSM-5, are results of behavior. Can economic patterns imply trauma? And shout out to Jared for answering the Nightbot. That's the question. These are cases that we need to make. We need to make rock solid cases that we can throw through the glass ceiling of WS, bust it open and bring down the whole thing and get what's rightfully ours. And shout out to John for answering that Nightbot. And real quick, I got a video processing in the back, so I can't see how many likes I got. If anybody could do a like check, that'd be great. I'm hoping we got over 50 likes.
And this is why we think this is okay. Every time that you do not support a black business, bro, you are basically promoting our demise as a people. We have no room to not spend money with each other.
Now, I want to ask you guys something, right? How many people have been around? And shout out to, okay, that's what's up. And shout out to Black Bitcoin Kid. We got 46 likes. If everybody smash that like button and get us over 50, that'd be great. Shout out to y'all for keeping up on that. I appreciate y'all. My man AJ, on one of the last streams that I did, asked about the All Money Ain't Good Money series. How many people been watching the channel since All Money Ain't Good Money? I got an episode of All Money Ain't Good Money coming up. And the reason why I got an episode of All Money Ain't Good Money coming up is because I believe that with the talk of the value chains, we need to start showing how these value chains connect. Because one thing that I've always said is that you got to pay to play. Right? You got to pay to play. So what you have to do is you have to create business and commerce. And once you create the business and the commerce, then you buy your politics. You buy your politics. That's one of the reasons why the racial wealth gap is maintained where it's maintained. If people think that the population is quote unquote maintained at 13%, if that's what people think, right? If people think, and shout out to my man Grind and Motivate, I appreciate you, bro. If people think that the population is maintained, we need to start talking about the racial wealth gap being maintained. because it's a lot easier to quantitatively ease economic indicators than it is to quantitatively ease numbers of people. We see how easy they quantitatively ease US dollars, American currency, interest rates, right? So we need to pay attention to that. We need to start documenting it, showing evidence of it, keeping a log. You know what I'm saying? All this stuff. Listen, I'm going to tell everybody something. If economic justice is what everybody wants, all future generations of our kids and grandkids should all, at the very least, have a CPA and a Juris Doctorate degree, and all be concentrating all of their efforts on creating law firms, creating accounting firms, and using their downtime to attack the American system of oppression through the legal and financial system. Let me ask you guys a question. That sounds far-fetched, right? Do it sound far-fetched if I tell you that a bunch of lawyers that you might look up got the last name Stein? Do it sound so far-fetched now? Do it sound so far-fetched that people will say that you're coming with an anti-XYZ theory if you talk about the quote-unquote bankers? If I talk about bankers, nobody's going to assume I'm talking about some black people. Why is that? Because there's so many people concentrated in that quote-unquote banking arena. We know who they're talking about. Now, let me ask you guys a question. Do you think that was part of a plan to be extremely competent in the legal system? Legalities, which are cousins of policy, go hand in hand with money because they govern how to do business. And if you govern how to do business and maintain a superior understanding of business and commerce over your peers in an organized society, you have an advantage. Would you agree? How many people have worked with somebody that is a horrible worker, but that horrible worker has the employee handbook memorized like it's a damn dissertation? Now, that person may be a horrible worker, but in most cases, the bosses will probably pick with somebody else before they mess with that person that got the handbook memorized, despite the fact that that person that has a handbook memorized might not be as competent as somebody else on the job. Why is that? Because that person is armed with knowledge. So they're going to pick on somebody that doesn't know anything. Would you guys agree? Everybody's been in that situation. How do you keep your job? How did you get away with this? Oh, it's in the handbook. It's in the handbook. There's always that one person. They got the handbook memorized. And they get away with murder. And the reason why they get away with murder is because they understand the handbook and they understand how to manipulate the governance. Oh, we're going to fire you if you call off one more time. No, you're not. Because the handbook says I got 10 call-offs and I only got 3. So actually what I'm about to do is call off 6 more times. Now you can sit there and say you're going to fire me. Right? And shout out to my man Terrence. Terrence said he the one that knows the handbook. Everybody throw some radiation emoji in the chat for Terrence. And ladies and gentlemen, shout out to my man Tricky Rick for joining the YouTube membership. Make sure you guys throw some flames and radiation emoji in the chat for my man Tricky Rick. The membership is only 99 cents. It's only 99 cents. It's less than $1. It's less than some vending machine money. And it helps tremendously. It'd be nice if all of my subscribers became members. So consider it. All right. I guarantee you guys will get more and better content as the memberships start to grow. So show Tricky Nick some love. And as we already got a decent amount of members. It's just a matter of me getting time. I got to do some membership content. That's
how bad it is. You cannot afford to not spend money with each other. Every time you walk in the store and put $1 in another coach's hand, you are participating in your own demise. This shit is chess, not checkers, and it's so simple. It is very simple to understand this. Very simple.
See, what's funny about it is you see how Papa Duck is saying that it's simple? Who that sound like? Who that sound like? I gotta agree with him. It is simple. It's not hard. So now here's my question. If it's simple and it's not hard, why does it seem like people have such difficulty understanding this? It's not that hard. Shout out to the Discord. Torian had posted a screenshot of Fade in the Water trending on Twitter in the Discord, right? And I responded with the comment. Now, do you see how we all concentrated our effort to talk about that situation with the riverboat so much? There was so much concentrated conversation on that out of everything in the world being talked about, that trended on Twitter. We did that. Shout out to my man Kale. Imagine if instead of concentrating hashtags, we concentrated money. We concentrated strategy. Imagine if we did that. Because see, the fact that we can make something trend on Twitter, all that, we don't have no power, all of that goes out the window. It's just a matter of, do you want to use it or not? Do you want to perfect your technique? Shout out to Reigning Woman. What's good with it? That's the question. And unfortunately, the evidence shows that people are not quite willing to do that at this point. But hopefully that changes. But it's possible. It's possible. Shout out to Shamika Gray. Shamika Gray says, everything for us is priced higher. Greetings, BLR and chat. Everything is priced higher for us. Why is that? Because everything that we purchase is an export. Everything that we purchase is an export. If we look at ourselves as a group of people, we don't have any interstate commerce. All of our purchases are purchased from other communities. And if you look at how business works on a global scale, all exports and all imports have tariffs attached. They have import-export taxes. If I purchase something domestic, it's supposed to be cheaper. Let me ask you guys a question. When it comes to us, what is domestic production? What do we have that we're producing domestically? Shout out to Dr. Claude Anderson. He said we're producing sweat. The only problem is that sweat production is useless for us. Now, there's people making money off of our sweat, but for us, being that we're the raw material being put into the machine, there's nothing. So we need to build our own machines. This is what Papa Duck is saying. And again, shout out to the thumbnail. If Papa Duck understands value chains, why don't you? And shout out to Shamika. We are 40 likes and 60 in the chat. Make sure everybody smashes that like button and hit that bell. I'm telling you guys, we are going to break out of that shadow ban or out of that algorithmic restriction, whatever you want to call it, and skyrocket. It's just a matter of time and perseverance.
You don't have nothing. Why should we make your voice worth a damn? We vote for people years after years after years that we know ain't gonna do shit for us, that ain't never did shit for us, ain't gonna do shit for us, but yet we want to blame other people for where we're at. It's time we start taking our own responsibility in this shit. And if you don't, then don't complain, bro. Don't complain.
I swear he's saying a lot of similar stuff to what I say. I'm not mad at this, man. I'm not mad at this. You see what I'm saying? I'm not mad at this.
It's simple. We put the very people that's running the world and running us in power, every time we spend money with them. Now, I done made different scenarios. That's facts. Facts. The only time these people gonna start listening to you is when you start taking that money out their pocket. Until then, they don't give a fuck about you. They don't have to.
Hey, he's spitting. I gotta agree with, if y'all agree with Jared, give me a thumbs up. If y'all disagree, give me a thumbs down. He's spitting. Now here go my question. Like, why don't more people react to Papa Duck? If you ask me, he's a react-worthy content creator. And he says some good, I mean, he be on it. Like, he's on it.
You put money in their pocket. You walking in their stores. You online shopping with these people. You are funding your own demise, homie. So when shit like this come up, a lot of these big celebrities, of course, they're going to bow down because they're not going to put all this shit up for us because we don't have nothing for them. We don't have factories. We don't have grocery stores. We don't have nothing. And the ones who do got money, they are forced to spend their money with these people because we don't have nothing. If you had millions of dollars and you got different companies, you want to.
Yo, shout out to my man, Black Man Being Brutally Honest. What's good with it, bro? Yo, if y'all not subscribed to my man Kev channel, make sure y'all go over there and check him out. Yo, make sure you put your link in the chat, Kev. Hey, good stream, by the way, yesterday, bro. And shout out to, I already, man, my bad, Jared. I already said shout out to you. I was trying to hit Monty right here. Shout out to Monty. What's good with it? Welcome to the stream.
Spend with somebody black, but shit, ain't nobody black that got toilet paper factories. We don't have tire factories. I'm talking about factories, not buying it from the factory. I'm talking about we not making it. You know how I feel about school. We need our own schools. But let me give you a good example. Everybody running around buying school supplies and school. We should have our own company that manufacture uniforms for school that we buy from. But we don't. That's just one example. We love seafood. There's not one black seafood company that I know of or big enough that go out and manufacture or capture and we buy from them.
Now check this out. I want to verify something real quick. What Papa Duck is saying, does this resemble what I've been saying about value chains and creating value chains and links of value and overlapping the value chain in order to create a fall-proof safety net? It's all good, Jared. Now, here's my question. How do you get started creating a value chain? That's what we need to do. Not only do we need to create the value chain with money, we need to be able to create it with resources. We need to be able to create it with assets, and we need to be able to create it with services. There needs to be a multi-pronged system with multiple products that can be used or favored along the value chain. Once we create our own value chains, start cycling money through the value chains. All products that we get from outside of our ecosystem, we'll be able to get them from inside of our ecosystem. And if we prioritize getting products from inside of our ecosystem, if we do that long enough and are disciplined with it long enough, believe it or not, it'll drive down the prices of items outside of our ecosystem because we'll have created a vacuum and all of our money will be out of the outside ecosystem and be circulated within our ecosystem. And then what we need to do is create a moving average of how much money is going through the ecosystem and increase and adjust that money for economic conditions. People pay attention to that kind of stuff. Your children should be creating value chains as kids. Believe it or not, when people go to college in high school, Those are the beginning of when they create their value chains. How many people do you know that went to college with you or went to high school with you that started their own business with their roommate or started their own business with their friend? I bet you didn't even know that the value chain was formulating back then. But it is. That's why people got to choose their friends wisely. In many cases, people tend to not really value friendship relationships. But a friendship cultivated properly could reap massive amounts of rewards. Let me ask you guys a question. A lot of those people that go to those Ivy League schools, look at Facebook. Look at YouTube even. All of these companies like this were companies created by nerds that all lived in the same apartment. They all lived in the same dorm room. They all went to the same school, took the same classes, worked on projects together, and expanded the projects. The links to value chains potentially are all around. You know what I'm saying? People just got to start looking at things as if that's what they're looking for. You know what I'm saying?
They do it. We don't. See, you got one side of people that make shit. You got one side of people that buy shit. What you think we are? We buy. We don't make a motherfucking thing. And this is one of the reasons why this is going to happen, because when these people don't put years and years of work in, building relationships, doing what they got to do, of course they're going to buy down. Because we don't have nothing for them to fall back on. Nothing to catch them. And at some point, you can't even blame them. And I'm just being realistic with myself. You can't blame somebody for not putting it all on the line, because we don't support each other to that point. And this is simple. Like this is a simple fix. So yes, that is a form of butt breaking. It's going to continue until we have some type of equity into our own life. You get what I'm saying? We give our life to everybody else. We send our children to school. We just hand our children over to the motherfuckers to be brainwashed. Come on, bro. We don't have nothing. Black folk, we don't have a damn thing. And we need to stop fighting each other. We need to stop. See, I told y'all, when it came to a spirituality with black folk, they told us to pray, get on your knees, wish, hope, and ask. You think they wishing and hoping and asking?
That's a great question. Hey, that's a great question. So I'm gonna let y'all answer it. Do y'all think that they're wishing and hoping and asking, or do you think that they just laughing at us while we do it? That's the biggest trick. That's the biggest trick right there. And it's people that'll fight you tooth and nail about it. And it's all brainwashing propaganda.
That's what you think they doing? If you get on your knees and ask for something and I get out there and physically do it, it's a great chance that I'm gonna get it before you get it. God gave you everything you need to do everything you need to do. You just like I say, we let other people give us religion. We let other people tell us. Black folks are the only people that got a God that they look up to that don't look like them. We don't.
I mean, hey, has the man lied so far? You know what I'm saying?
The only people that let other people speak for us when it comes to anything dealing with us, we sell each other out because we don't have nothing for us to fall back on. If black folks start coming together, if black folks start spending money with each other, if black folks start understanding how this shit really goes, even the ones that's doing this to us will start getting on our team. Watch how they start jumping ships, because first of all, they not loyal to each other. Ain't nothing about America is loyal. That's why everything got to deal with documents, paperwork. You got to sign this, you got to fingerprint this, you got to get this notarized, because there's no loyalty. You can't trust nothing when it comes to America. You can't trust shit. That's why they got patents, which they create patents before they create the problem. You better follow that what I just said. They create the patent before they create the problem. This is when you let someone create a problem and you leave them in charge of the solution.
So what he's talking about right now is the situation called Hegelian dialectic. He's talking about the Hegelian dialectic, and he's right. And he's right.
They're gonna make millions and billions. And it's not about the money that when you that high up, but the money controls the people. It's about the control. Money is fake. We're talking about fiat currency. Look up fiat currency. It's fake. The only thing money has is the belief that it's real. Like a bitch will take this stack of money, kill you because they think that it's.
Hey, so check this out. I'm gonna show you guys something, right? So anytime you got a troll that comes in here and says every life matter, not just black lives, Lord Jesus loves everyone, I'm gonna tell you what, if a house was burning up and you and a picture of Jesus were in it and my kids were in it, guess who would burn up along with that house? You would burn up in flames right along with that picture of Jesus. So what's that tell you about how I feel about your life? Just saying.
It's real. We under that spell. See, I keep trying to tell y'all think when you talk about spells and voodoo and all that, y'all be thinking about Haitians and Jamaicans and this. No, nigga, America. What you think that is? Money.
Yeah. Hey, you ever seen that? You ever seen that movie Fantastic Four? You know the Human Torch? You'll be banging on the window looking like the Human Torch with skin falling off your face. And that picture will be slowly burning. So just so you know, I'm just saying. So that's what I think about your life.
That's a spell. You got people killing you over this fake ass money. But the thing about it is this: everything can be re-engineered. Like I told y'all, the same way they use money against us, we can turn around and use it against them. But we have to come together, y'all. You have to understand that. You think these people in our neighborhoods, because they love us, you done lost your fucking mind. You can spend your money in these people's shops or stores your whole life. If somebody die, you think they coming to the funeral?
He gonna be running around hitting his head like it's time for him to change his weave, talking about flame off, slapping his head.
They gonna send flowers. You think they finna say, hey man, you know, such been coming in here for 20 years. You know, passed away. No, they gonna say, oh man, my bad. You want a bag for that? It's about business. Back home where I'm from Belgrade, we got a spot called Dixie Fried Chicken. You know how many motherfuckers done kept that motherfucking place running, buying that chicken? And you know what they did? They sold that bitch to some Arabs. This is a prime example of business. Arabs will come there, got nothing to do with the culture. Nothing to do about the times you stop by, grab you something to eat. You and
hey, look, and check this out though. What he's saying the thing, this kind of stuff applies to DJ Khaled. This kind of stuff applies to Eminem. You know what I'm saying? This kind of stuff applies to MC Search from Third Base, Vlad. Now, let me ask you guys a question, right? There's been a lot of talk of quote unquote gatekeep the culture. How many people have heard gatekeep the culture? We got to gatekeep the culture. Gatekeep the culture. How many people have heard that? And I agree. The culture does need to be gatekeep, right? Gate kept, I should say. But now here's the question though, right? How do you do it? How do you do it? Let me ask you guys a question. What does gatekeeping the culture look like? What does it look like? Show me an example of the culture, quote unquote, being gate kept. How does one do that? I got some ideas, but I'm curious as to what you guys think.
The fellas kicking it, they don't care about none of that shit. They'll knock that bitch down and build another spot because it's about business. This is why I hate America, because
now that's a good idea. That's a good start, right? Shout out to Tricky Nick. That's a good start. Not letting any and everybody come in and use us for resources, right? Now, here is my question. How does one do that? How does one put a blockade up to stop people from using us, quote unquote, as resources? What is the step-by-step method of doing that? I gotta agree, and shout out to Al B Black. What's good with it, bro? I gotta agree with Black Free Thinker. Finances and value chains. Let me ask you guys a question. If somebody makes a comment and says those people killed Jesus and immediately gets jumped on, and they get jumped on so hard, they apologize and never mention those people again, is that the culture being gatekept? If someone makes a tweet about a book that threatens to expose the fraudulence of your identity and everybody jumps on you and you take all of the money away from that person, utilizing your value chains, is that gatekeeping the culture? So we see examples of gatekeeping the culture, and them somberitos, they absorb and gatekeep. So now, how do they absorb and gatekeep? They absorb and gatekeep by utilizing their power through value chains and their infrastructure resources, like Hollywood, like Kanye West get out of pocket, we're gonna cut off his money supply, like that. You get out of pocket, we're gonna pull the plug, like that. So in order to be able to gatekeep your culture, you have to have a massive array of resource weapons in order to enforce your will and attack strategically. You first attack to cause somebody great inconvenience. You attack the source of their money generation. And then you attack their personal image. So there's a whole entire strategy that them somberitos use to, quote unquote, gatekeep their culture. So now imagine if Ron DeSantis wanted to go around and say, well, slavery is good for you. And we spanked the Florida economy so badly that the state of Florida went under to the point where they had to get Fed loans to maintain their economy. You think Ron DeSantis would mention our history ever again? You think the people would be happy that he played chicken and lost? What about Eminem disrespecting rap legends? If we just decided to completely destroy Death Row Aftermath and make it where even Dr. Dre feels the residual effects of having a business relationship with Eminem, to the point where everyone has to get driven away from Eminem. No more Snoop Dogg, no more 50 Cent, no more Dr. Dre, and Dr. Dre getting punished the entire time for bringing Eminem to the forefront. You think anybody gonna disrespect any of the founders ever again? Shout out to my man, We Lit. What's good with it, bro? Ice Cube said Eminem is goat milk. That's interesting.
Everything is about business. These people give you fake information because of business. Fake surgeries. So that you could come back and get another surgery.
Eminem is an admitted culture vulture. In the verse of one of his songs, he said, I do black music and use it to make myself wealthy. In that same song, in the verse before that, he talked about using the Elvis model. Eminem is a clown. Up until I heard that line, I didn't mind Eminem. I thought he was a talented MC. After I heard that line, nah, B. That's when I stopped fucking with Eminem. What's that song? It's the one where he be like, you feel so guilty without me. Go listen to that song. Go listen to that song.
Because of business. Man, fuck this shit, man. Man, I hope y'all got something out of this video, man. Make sure y'all share this video.
Yeah.
I'm gonna start another Facebook page.
Yeah, on Without Me. He admitted to being a culture vulture. I do black music and use it to get myself wealthy. He said that in that song. Here go my thing, right? I don't have any respect for Eminem. If I'm not mistaken, Dr. Dre found him at a rap contest where he came in second place because he got his ass beat by a dude named Ideal, if I'm not mistaken. So this dude is a guy who won the second place trophy and hit the lottery. You know what I'm saying? But see, Dr. Dre and Eminem were on the same time, though. Eminem said, I'm going to do this black music. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm going to be the white dude in the black music. And I know how black people operate. And Dr. Dre said, I know how black people operate. So I'm going to use this white dude to make myself rich. Dr. Dre is just as guilty. You know what I'm saying? Now, again, am I somebody that's sitting up there saying that nobody should be allowed to be a rapper? No, I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is that Dr. Dre should have made a better investment. Dr. Dre should have made a better investment, in my opinion. This is funny. Black people don't have a patent over hip hop. Why black people do judo or karate, which is Asian, or yoga, which is South Asian. Stop this shit. Stop what? Vivek Ramaswamy doesn't have a patent over black people. But he can't keep black skin out of his mouth. A lot like Lena the Plug. You want to address that?
Hey, cause they shadow banning me on Facebook. People see me in the street. People asking, do I still do video? Because they are limiting my reach. You feel me? But it's all good because what's real is real. And like I be saying, man, you ain't got to go to church to be a real one. All you got to do is have common sense. That's it. God ain't going to punish you because you on that path. God ain't going to punish you because you want to know the truth. And you do not have to go through someone to get to God. That don't make no sense. I love y'all, man. Like I say, man, please share this video. And we must stop this shit, man. Because if we don't, we're going to always be at their mercy. You feel me?
And I agree with Papa Doug. So shout out to Papa Doug, man. This video was dope. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to put the link to this video in the chat. I think that more people should check this video out, and I think that people should react to it.